Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Ricardo Rios from Commercial Equipment Finance, Inc., better known as Cefi. Thanks for joining me, Ricky.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Nah, it's great to have you on the program, man. Before I hit record, I was mentioning you were episode number 5, so you kind of helped me start this thing, over 5 years ago. So we'll just have to see if we get more views, with the second video compared to the first one.
Well, I'd say I'm very proud of what you've been able to accomplish, and this is episode number.
I want to say 286 or 287. It's getting there, man.
Yeah, so very proud of your consistency, your grit, your focus on continuing what you started, and yeah,
No, greatly appreciate it. And it's selfishly, it gets me hour of time with executives like you, and I'm curious to catch up with you on the last 5 years of Cefi. So, with that in mind, do you mind just kind of reintroducing yourself? You have a new role since the last time you were on here, now president and COO. So let's
correct.
just talk about that new role, what that means to you, following in your father's footsteps and the organization, man.
Sure. So, Commercial Equipment Finance, Cefi, is an independent finance company. It's been around for 17 years now. I've been with the company for approximately 14 plus, so 14 going on to 15. And since the last time we spoke, my role was COO. In October of 2024, I was promoted to president and COO. So my father, prior to that moment, he was chairman and president, and now he is still active in the business. He is the best consultant a president can have, and we work together and alongside our leadership team, which we have a great leadership team. So me coming on board as not coming on board, but evolving to the role of president. I had always been interacting with the leadership team, but it's of more, as you can understand, the role entails a more direct relationship and more strategic and more executory with the leadership team. Always going to the CEO to vouch to see if he has support for our ideas and proposals, and getting his chime in to see how we can make those ideas even better. So, the day-to-day role from COO to president, it's similar, but a little bit different. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was an honor to be in the room, when your dad made that announcement.
Yeah.
Because I want to say while it didn't take effect till October, I think that was middle of
Correct.
August. So
Correct.
it was
Yes.
nice
Yes. Yes.
to kind of see him and see him choke back some tears a little bit and just
Yeah.
his natural charismatic self in his speech.
Yeah. It was nice to have all of our stakeholders, many of our stakeholders in the room for that announcement. It was
That was your 15-year anniversary too, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Exactly. So, it was a conversation that it was always like, when is the right time to announce it? And being able to announce it where a lot of the stakeholders are bank partners, uh, both locally and the states, and service providers, and of all sorts, from legal to technology to you name it, were in the room present. So that was a great icing on the cake.
So, I mean, yeah, and I was gonna say, good luck getting your dad ever out of the business. It's
Yeah, well,
not a bad thing.
he loves what he does, and so do I. And I don't see him ever going away, and I wouldn't want him to see him go away.
No?
Obviously, uh, his role changes and more strategic advisory. But if he needs to execute, he'll execute.
Absolutely. So, as far from a Cefi perspective, let's talk about the organization. How many employees are you up to? U.S. People in the
Yeah.
U.S., Puerto Rico.
So right now we're 35 employees, four in the States, the remainder here in headquarters HQ. Cefi is a full service independent, so we do everything on site, from underwriting, collections, servicing, funding. We're traditional. I would say since the last time that we spoke, our business model changed from syndicating the majority of our originations to holding our originations to then go to the securitization market. So I think from our last conversation 4 years ago, we've done three securitizations, 2021, 2025, and 2024. So that has been an amazing pivot in our business model. The first time you do one, it's okay, well, you were lucky to do one. The second time was okay, well, you guys proved that you know what you're doing, and the third one is more validation. So it's a very proud that we have not only been able to accomplish those three securitizations, but we have the team to execute right on a consistent basis on the servicing, on the reporting, on providing great results. The first one was upgraded twice, and the second one and the third one have performed according to their ratings. So we are very thrilled that that has pivoted our business model, allowing us to continue capitalizing our bank lines, but also accessing the institutional market to take benefit of the structures, sequential pay tranches that help you reduce cost of funds. So that has been a big game changer from the last time we spoke for Cefi. Cefi is originator of essential use equipment, primary construction, transportation. We are agnostic. We focus. We have our main focus is the Puerto Rico market, and since 2015 we have been originating in the United States, focused in Florida, Georgia, Texas, and ancillary states. So our focus is more relationship driven than transactional. That's how we approach our each business, each customer, and each vendor. Apart from that, other things that have changed is technology is more and more prevalent in our business, bringing on project managers internally, having project managers and support systems externally. Whenever we hit our heads against the wall a couple of times, it's always good to bring in a third party to support our continued focus on efficiency, continued focused on creating value. And we have changed to Salesforce, and now continuing the evolution with integrating AI. So nothing special there, right? It's a must. It's a must do in every business these days. So really focusing on doing it right, having the policies in place, and being able to leverage the capabilities that every day are growing exponentially.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, technologies, just what it's evolved to in the last 4 to 5 years, let alone, I guess, 4 to 5 months in regards to AI, right?
Mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
when you think you sit there and you have something, oh, look at this neat little tool. All of a sudden there's something better. And you're just like, oh, like what?
Yeah. Well,
But
hey, it's the new normal, right? It's
yeah,
pivot, 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 and some other cliche words, but it's all about just keeping a strategy, a focus, and executing the best you can.
so I want to go back to the securitizations, if you don't mind, because I
Sure.
think that's as organizations like Cefi evolve, right? Where it's more like you just, okay, we're going to do this, and then someone else is going to benefit from the long-term play of these assets,
Mm-hmm.
relationships that you have, right? But now it's like you guys have gone through a few of these. You have more powder where you can go out and you can say, okay, no, this is my client. I want to do this. I don't want to rely on somebody else to do this deal that I want to do. You guys now have that power, right? So
Yep.
I guess going through three of these, like lessons learned or advice to some organizations that are maybe not as mature as Cefi and kind of what they can expect through going through something like this, Ricky?
Yeah, I'd say the first and most important thing as a company that grows to be able to kind of take that step or that leap into the securitization world. First and foremost, you have your all ducks aligned, and the main duck I would say is data, right? And performance history. That is going to be your strongest card, right? To be able to access the capital markets.
Sure.
And when you're growing as a company, and so servicing your portfolio, regardless if it's being sold or if it's being maintained on balance sheet, is the best way you're going to be able to have precise, accurate, and complete delinquency and portfolio statistics. Because if you're selling the servicing, well, then you're somewhat losing that history of performance, right? Not necessarily your partners can provide that information to you, but it's one degree apart, right? So one strategic uh, pillar to our business model has always to be retaining the servicing, right? And that allows us to have that data, and whenever you're going to entice yourself or have the partners and the bankers and the banks to support a securitization in the early stages, show me your numbers, right? Not necessarily financially, in addition financially, but more importantly, portfolio performance, right? Because that's what's going to kind of provide structure. That's what's going to kick off the start. So that would seem to be the most important recommendation, right? Second one is, when we talked, or well, let's say, 10 years ago, securitization market wasn't as prevalent in our industry as it is today, right? So it's always important to kind of be able to see where the industry is going, where access to capital or capital is out there, right? To have strategic benefits. And I would say late 18, 19, 20, we would always be hearing, how independents are going to favor against the banks. And at the beginning of those times, it was okay, well, securitization starting to go up and go up. And a lot of independents, well, you might see one or two, right, do securitizations, but you'd have the big guys, right, be doing securitizations 200, 300, and 400 and 500, and kind of having that kind of opportunity, but also maybe potentially the market being more active was kind of timing right for us to get into that market. Because what they typically say is, if you have a transaction less than $100 million, the costs are going to be more prevalent, and comparatively speaking, in terms of percentages, right, of the total transaction. So that's also another thing to kind of get your head around is, okay, what is the cost associated with securitization? Where does the cost benefit ratio come into play, where it makes economic sense, right? Because the game of securitization is decreasing cost of funds and increasing advance rates. Those are the two main outputs. And you want to be able to maximize both of those levers to have a successful securitization.
Absolutely. And if you're not doing that, because I know there's some people where it's like, oh, I just want like 25 or 30, and people are like, what? Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. That's yeah. But hey, hopefully the market gets all the way down there at some point. Will it? I can't say, and I maybe
Sure.
maybe time will tell. But at the moment, that's kind of the rule of thumb.
And then I guess from a headcount perspective, have you guys stayed static over the last 5 years, or where's the 35? Any idea where you guys were
Yeah,
5 years ago?
we've stayed. We've grown in credit. We've grown in portfolio management, aka collections, in kind of the funding perfection stage of the business. But as we've continued to take advantage of technology and be able to create more efficiencies. That number hasn't grown as much as it would need to, right? Without the benefit of those support systems.
No, absolutely. And that's where I was going with it, based on I think where you guys were at then. And then obviously
Mm-hmm.
elections is something, right? Everyone needs that. And that makes sense for that. But the rest of it, a lot of those things you can do a lot of more volume with just the right processes and systems in place. And you guys have taken good advantage of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's it's always, I think with technology also, it's when to press the button, right? When to execute. Are you early in the game? Are you late in the game? Or you're in a stage that it's right to execute, and whenever you do execute, before you do, obviously have the team on board, right? Have them involved so that an implementation or a transfer goes smoothly. I think one of our uh, biggest highlights in technology was transitioning our origination system, and we were able to do it in record time in comparison to all other previous uh,
Yeah.
comparable companies, because we had a plan, we had the team engaged, and we had a team focused on executing that. We did
Well, and
it
I
in.
think you also had an effective data strategy because I think you to jump in on that, right?
Well,
Data is
yeah.
so important, and you guys have had a good data strategy since I think you for quite a while. And
Yeah,
it's
we have. I think it's always important to have great advisors, right? That have more knowledge and you can trust, and have more knowledge in different aspects, and can also see your business, right? Like we see our customers' business and kind of give them, okay, this is your needs now, but what are you doing for financing over the next years, and where's your growth and stuff like that. When you have people that can support us like we support our customers, looking at the long run, right? It helps you to execute things that maybe you're not even thinking about, but that are important. So, we were in the last 4 years since we started, we already have our data's in AWS clouds, and now we're leveraging that. All our data's in a cloud that we can, with AI, then connect models into that AWS environment to maximize a lot of the things that we're working on right now.
if you had a magical wand, what would you solve for right away? If the technology could do it. And
Magical one, if I could solve today, it would be having, I would say, my having a Tesla application for originations, right? Literally in 5 buttons, contract signed, executed, and with a user experience that is just like a Tesla, buying a Tesla. That would be my magic wand scenario.
yeah, I mean, I think of like now I am older than you, but not significantly older. I would consider us to be sort of the same generation. And when you sit there and it's like anything from the commercial side, the Tesla thing included, or if you go to like get like a SoFi loan or anything like that, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like bang, 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 done. And it's
Yep.
like, wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
that was so easy.
Yep. There's a lot behind it, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
it's getting that a lot behind it, right? That is obviously the secret sauce, or it's just the perfect recipe, I guess you can say.
Sure, sure. And I guess from a we're what halfway through this year, a little past the halfway point. From an overall economic perspective, how are you seeing things today? Is it similar to the States? Is it in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I'd say cautiously optimistic is always the tread to trail. The last year, it's kind of like every year there's a new thing, right? Last year was the tariffs. This year's the Middle East, Iran war. So we business sentiment is obviously an important thing for our industry, right? Because if there's strong business sentiment, there's a strong uh, uh, support of investing, continued investment in businesses. So, obviously, these situations over the last 2 years have potentially, I would say, decreased overall business right sentiment, and potentially having customers, business owners maybe hold back some more than others, hold back on decisions, right, because of situation. Others are going full force, but I think that has been a trend over the last 2 years where we see growth, but we don't see it as prevalent as prior years because of just the situations that we're seeing in the macroeconomics. And at the same time, you have to be in our shop, right? We're the business owners, we're the board of directors. It's our capital, so we're also in the sense that we are very cautious when we look at credits because at the end of the day, it's our buck, right? It's our pockets that are getting. And I know every business operator, regardless if it's your capital or not, has the same kind of focus. But
Sure.
in our we're not going to be. We modify our credit parameters based on what we see macroeconomically, and that's
Hey,
like every business does.
smart business, because then you're not going to get burned. There's always going to be these ebbs and flows, and that's just the correct way of doing things. So,
Yeah, we're
um, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit if you don't mind. So having
yeah.
RJ and Felipe, you know, work-life balance, like, uh, and I know Patricia works all the time. You run a company,
Yep.
so how do you manage that? Plus, I know you travel quite a bit for work too. So, any tips and tricks, Ricky?
No, 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 no tips or tricks. I think it's no. It's kind of I'm at those ages, 6 and 2 years old, where every day is a wild card, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday I just had to leave to pick up my son because of at a camp for a headache, and it's kind of it's always there's always something, right? But it's I think the way that I have kind of focused, I guess the only tips and trick I would say is that it's important to focus on yourself, right? Physically, aka mentally, because with all the running a business and having children, having a spouse, and having so many other things that are dependent on you, if
Yep.
if you're not good, nobody else is going to be good. So I think since last year, I've probably been in the best shape of my life. Not my life, but I'd say since I was 25 years old. So let's say that's, and that's just helped me sleep much better. So while I'm sleeping less, I'm getting more quality sleep,
Okay.
which is beneficial to just my overall kind of mentality, focus, and execution. So I think that's probably the best way to describe it. That would be my only tip. Like every day is a toss up, but at least if you have some structure on being able to get workouts in or just whatever it may be. So that's it. I've got into the routine where I wake up at 4:20 in the morning and I'm at the gym at 5, and at 6 I'm home, and luckily everybody's still sleeping, so at least I have like 15 or 20 more minutes to kind of you know before the mayhem starts, right? But
That's
yeah, so that's kind of it. But it's definitely was I am the person that I would love to be at the office by 7 in the morning, because 7 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning is where you get the most of the work done. But obviously I have to be I'm making pancakes and eggs and packing lunch boxes and changing diapers at that time. So then dropping kids off at school. So I'd say, my first child was born in 2020. And having one is much easier than having two, right? But I think when the diaper phase and both are in kind of elementary school, it'll be kind of easier to
and
get to.
then they'll get to sports, and then you have to drive around a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always something. But no, that's great advice. Yeah, if you're not working on yourself, no one else is going to. It's
Yep.
just making it a
Hmm.
priority, and good for you for getting up that early. I mid-afternoon, man. Now the problem with my mid-afternoon workout is stuff rolls downhill, but just being
Exactly.
intentional and just even
Yeah.
yeah, doing something for 30 minutes plus. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And my wife was kind of, I was like, oh, well, I'll go back to the gym at, like I used to, 6 in the afternoon. I was like, well, if you go to 6 in the afternoon, you're never going to see your children because by the time you get home, they're going to be sleeping. So that helped me kind of put things in perspective and say, okay, well, I got to do this,
Yeah.
before their day starts and before my day used to start. So,
No,
uh,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. So we have let me see, the upcoming YMCA golf tournament, charity golf tournament at the end of August. Do you want
Yeah.
to talk about,
Yeah.
you know, mind?
Thanks EF Cares for also being part of it and contributing to the efforts. Definitely, Cefi's kind of uh, social impact, community impact program or efforts. There's there's multiple, but this being the pillar. We for the last 4 years have been supporting the YMCA here, the Puerto Rico chapter. The hurricane, post hurricane, and COVID kind of afterwards it needed kind of TLC. So Ricardo Senior became part of the board of directors over the last 4 years with the annual golf tournament where Sefi has been the title sponsor and I guess you can say main cheerleader. We've been able to raise over $600,000. So just one day raising, I guess $150,000 net is a
Big.
big kind of is big for the YMCA, right? So some of the dollars that have been raised have gone to building a new basketball court, right, where the roof was destroyed with the hurricane. Building indoor pool for people, a wheelchair capable pool, and continued efforts on the operations, kind of having the more capital for OPEX, and this year also we're coming out with some good support being added to the YMCA tournament, which we'll be able to raise. I hope more. Let's say maybe $200,000 net this year. So just continuing to make a name of a tournament.
You
It's a
have
great.
some big sponsors, and that's, I mean, how many golfers are there? I mean, I know it's quite the orchestration of registration and
Well,
there.
yeah. I'll say that to we have to. The golf course is the I'm blanking out here, but is where they hold a PGA Tour event here in Puerto Rico, and we have to rent cars from other golf courses to have enough golf carts to have the event executed.
Can't you guys like do some like lease? Can't you lease some golf carts for a day?
Well, we do leasing and financing for majority of the golf courses here on the island. So
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I'm just messing.
but yeah, it's at the yeah. So it's a great event, and a lot of community people and also partners of ours, stateside, come down here to be part of it and also to donate. So we also appreciate and all our partners that come down here and contribute to the effort, and they participate in the event, but they can feel it and they can see kind of the effects of what we do here. So very proud.
Perfect. Well, no, you guys do a good job, and it's your name is all over that thing. But then your dad gets on stage, and it's quite the my first time there. I was like, wow, okay, because you guys just aren't the title sponsor. You're actually very engaged. There's a tent that you guys have, like your employees are there.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep. Yeah. No,
goes.
it's in our budget, not only in dollars but also in time, right? So it's to put those things on takes a lot of TLC. You know about that, with the FC Cares golf tournament. So uh,
Yep. we're getting ready for our fourth one coming up. And by the way, I think I oversold it this morning. Someone
Yeah.
I'm like, so now I have to go back and be like, by the way, we need three more foursomes. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it's just kind of one of those. I'll get yelled at, but whatever. I can I can deal with getting yelled at. I'm used to it.
For sure. For sure.
Um, so Ricky, I think I don't even remember your fun fact from 5 years ago. So give me uh
Uh,
give me another
mhm.
one if you don't
A
mind.
fun fact
Yeah.
about me.
About you. Like what do you do outside
Hmm.
of work and family? Like and working out, I guess.
The beach is my, I take the beach. If I can go to the beach every once a week, typically on the weekends, right? That's kind of part of my kind of what just kind of grounds me and sends me and kind of like, gives me just, breathe in the salt water, get into the beach, maybe surf, body surf a little bit. But that for me is kind of something that really keeps me even keel and just kind of resets my motivation for the week. So, I like to play golf and all these other stuff, but the beach would probably be the one that gives me the most kind of just yeah, gives me energy to just
Nice.
yeah,
Let's get away.
to be
Nice.
yeah,
Grounding.
yeah.
And
Luckily, I have it 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from my house. I don't have to drive that far.
proximity helps. If it was
That
an
does.
hour, you
Yeah.
might in traffic, maybe not. This
Yeah.
I have to get a we'll take a little screenshot of this, but this thing won't stop.
Yeah. It's staring at me.
And yeah, it's just like trying to like maintain composure here as this thing's jumping all over me. But so my last question I have for you, Ricky, is I'm going to ask the same closing question I did 5 years ago. Why should someone or an organization or local business want to do business with Cefi?
One of our core values, commitment. I don't know if I answered the same way, but commitment to our customers, to our relationships, to our banks, excellence. Trying to do everything the best way possible. Financial strength as us as a company, and also, but most importantly, integrity. Right? Being a lean company, we pride ourselves on being able to execute what we say, right? So integrity is all about reputation, and to be a lender, to be a partner of a business, right? They have to know that you're committed when you say that you're committed, and they have to know that you're going to execute whenever you say you're going to execute. So that is kind of Ricardo's kind of persona. His traits have been kind of instilled into our company, right? Those are, our main values here at the company. And we like to, I'd say, apart from all of that, we like to be not be friends, but have a real relationship or with our partners, right? We value that, right? And being able to see companies grow, and being, if our customers grow, we grow, and it's kind of it's a win-win, right? I think, and that's what we're a type of lender that really prides ourselves on that, right? So
Sure.
um,
Yeah. I think there's so many different F's you can use. I mean, financial strengths there. I mean, from what I've known about your organization, I want to say for probably its entirety.
yeah,
Um, family, that's what you treat your
yeah,
employees like. It's what it's like when, you visit there. And then
yeah.
fun, like fun. You guys have a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have this Friday. We have, we wanted there was this Friday. We have FIFA Friday, so we're closing up shop at 3 p.m. But we're gonna have all our employees doing, kind of seeing a game together, but also playing some competitive games, and just having a good time together. We want it to be Spain versus the U.S. Well, unfortunately, it's going to be Spain versus Belgium. But regardless, it's part of having a good time with our employees, taking advantage just once in every four year
Sure.
event, and so yeah, we'll be having some fun on Friday.
Excellent, Ricky. Well, I really appreciate your time today, man. Always good catching up with you. And look forward to seeing you next month at the YMCA golf tournament.
I look forward to seeing you. And again, thanks and thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of the World Cup.
All right. Sounds great, man. Talk soon. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye.